Who doesn't love a nice, comforting, warm bowl of creamy potato soup? I know it sounds great to me. And did you know you can use nutritious sweet potatoes in place of regular old potatoes to add flavor and sweetness that is divine? Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christine, and I found all of the healthy ingredients I'm going to use today at Basil Bandwagon Natural Market, where I love to shop. The potatoes I'm using for this potato soup are Hannah sweet potatoes. They're a potato that has a nice light interior as opposed to a yam or other types of sweet potatoes that might have an orange interior. So it looks a little bit more similar to regular white potato, but it's gonna give you a little different nutritional content in the soup and a slightly sweeter taste. So I really just enjoy using these for the soup. We're gonna peel 3 potatoes that are medium size. And of course, just take off the ends and any spots you see, like so. These potatoes, for whatever reason, brown quickly once you peel them and the interior flesh is exposed to air. So I have some cold salted water here in a pot, and as I cube the sweet potatoes, I'm gonna put them right into that cold salted water to prevent any more browning. You want these to not get too large, so some of these dices are getting a little bit big. I'm gonna make my next cuts a little smaller. Something like that. And now just repeat with the remaining 2 sweet potatoes. I'm going to saute some onion in a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm heating this up over medium-high heat. And that's 1 onion diced. Add a little pinch of sea salt to help soften the onion. And cook and stir that for a few minutes until it softens. After a few minutes, you're going to go ahead and add your diced carrot. That's 2 diced carrots and 2 stalks of celery diced. And add another little pinch of salt to help soften the vegetables. And we'll cook this for another 5 minutes. If your vegetables begin to stick to the bottom of the pan, you can always add a little splash of broth or water to prevent sticking. After 5 minutes of sauteing passed, I'm going to put everything into a big soup pot. And if you want to save a dish and save a step, you could just saute from the get-go right into a soup pot. That's fine. We're going to add the drained potatoes. And I'm adding 4 cups of preheated vegetable broth. You can use whatever type of broth you want. This is a homemade batch. And we're bringing it up to a boil over medium-high heat. While we're waiting for the soup to come to a boil, I'm going to fry up some Light Life Tempeh Smoky Bacon. This is a vegetarian/vegan bacon made from a soy product. And I just cut the strips in half. I'm going to fry them up in some avocado oil, but you could use olive oil if you prefer. I just like the heat stability of avocado oil. So I am frying these over medium-high heat. You could even use coconut oil if you prefer. And just put these in a nice, even single layer and fry them for a few minutes on each side till they get nice and crispy. This is going to be a delicious topping we're going to serve the soup with. Keep a close eye on these because they do start to brown quickly. These are so convenient because they're pre-seasoned and you can make a great sandwich using these strips. They're really tasty with breakfast as well. And if you can't have soy, feel free to use another type of bacon or whatever you prefer. The nice thing about this topping is that it's going to add a little protein to the soup, because otherwise there's really not, you know, much protein, just maybe a tiny bit from the vegetables. Once you have it nice and golden brown on both sides, you can transfer it to a plate to cool. And if you're watching your oil, your fat consumption, you can always put it on a plate lined with paper towels just to absorb some of that excess oil. We have a nice boil going on our soup, so we're going to turn the heat down to simmer on medium-low for about 20 minutes, covered lightly. So after about 20 minutes, your vegetables will be nice and soft. You want to make sure that your potatoes are tender. I can easily smush one with the back of a spoon, so that's perfect. And now I'm going to scoop out some coconut cream. You can, if you don't like the flavor of coconut, you can use other types of, you know, vegan cream or whatever cream you like. But I need about 1/2 cup of cream to add a really nice flavor and thickness to this soup. So I'm just going to scoop off the top portion. So I'm only getting the creamy part here. And again, I'm not measuring, but this is roughly about 1/2 cup. I'm also going to season the salt by adding the remaining teaspoon of salt. You can add less if you like, if you're on a low sodium diet, but I find that adds a nice flavor. And a little bit of fresh ground pepper, and just a few shakes of some nutmeg. Now we're going to blend half the soup to make it even creamier. Now you can remove a couple cups of the soup and put it in a blender and blend it that way. Or if you have a stick blender, it's really handy to just put this in and blend up approximately 1/3 to 1/2 of the soup. Just be careful that you don't overdo it. It's easy with the stick blender to lose track, and then before you know it, you won't have any texture and it'll just be one pureed soup. Besides the tempeh bacon, I thought sauteed leeks would add a really nice touch on top of the soup. So in a little bit of avocado oil or olive oil over medium heat, you can saute 1 cup of sliced leeks. And again, we're adding a little pinch of salt. And a few grinds of black pepper. Saute these for a while. If they start to stick, add a little splash of water or broth, but you'll want to saute these, I'd say, for at least 5 minutes, if not 10, just to make sure they get really sweet and soft and almost caramelized. One drawback of using the immersion blender is that you'll be left with little tiny bits of the carrots. So if you do want to avoid that, like I said, you can use a blender, and I decided I am going to take out a cup or 2 of the soup to blend in my NutriBullet. Okay, here's our blended soup, and you can see it almost looks like melted cheese, and it tastes amazing. So I think we achieved just the right balance of enough creamy pureed soup with nice little chunks of the potatoes, carrots, and celery. Oh my gosh, totally yummy. Of course, if you like, you can always add white beans to a soup like this. That would be a nice touch. Okay, isn't making soup the coziest activity ever? If you enjoy it as much as I do, I hope you'll try making this recipe yourself. Let me know in the comments below, what is your all-time favorite soup? I'd love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to find out about new videos when they get posted. Thanks for watching and see you soon!